Right, good morning, BC students. So right now I'm going to show you what it will look like in speedy mode, finishing up my final draft. I've seen a lot of great progress from a lot of you. If you haven't started doing this assignment yet, let's try to get to it. I want to make sure I have you guys up to date with the work that you're supposed to be completing, so please try your best to get it done as soon as possible. The final draft will be due at the midpoint of next week. I want to make sure you guys have some time to get it done over the weekend if you so choose, or just a couple extra days to get it done. But this is what I have so far, where we last left off. Still with plenty of cat damage. A lot of you were right that one thing you learned from the video is to make sure that you don't leave your work out. That's always a good thing. You never know what can happen to it. So I'm going to go in and go into speedy mode, and right now I have the door that you left open for my quote, which is happiness often sneaks in through a door you didn't know you left open. Here's the open door, here's the light and dark. So I'm going to go ahead and make these bubbles, those colorful bubbles, and then I'm going to also go ahead and start adding the objects inside of the bubbles. So I'm going to go into speedy mode. It's going to take me a little while to complete. You should make sure that your whole page is filled. Try to make sure that there's no empty space. Either fill it with color, shade, different objects, words, something to make sure that you're engaging your whole space and not just putting one thing in the middle. Remember, these are composition techniques that we learned about 7th graders at the start of the year, 8th graders that started 2 years ago, but I know you guys remember them because I remember talking with you about them before we went remote. So you're going to try to fill up the whole space, make it as detailed as possible. This is the final product, so you want to make sure it's as good as you can make it. I'm going to get this done and we'll talk about it when it is finished. Okay, so this is my final draft. I tried to make the bubbles kind of glow and have some lightness. I tried to make them a little transparent. I could have probably painted the objects inside of the bubbles, but personally I've been trying a different style. So this is something you'll find when you keep drawing and practicing making art. As you get better at certain things, sometimes you like to push yourself and try new things. So one thing I've been trying to do is kind of combining a realistic painting style with more of a cartooning or like illustrative style with marker or Sharpie. So that's what I did here. I have my different circles, and I could go back and tidy up like I sketched out in pencil. So I could go back and tidy up and get rid of some of my pencil lines if I'd like to, just to make it a little more refined. But basically, I tried making my bubbles kind of glowing and transparent. And then I use my lines to kind of draw my objects. So my quote one more time is happiness often sneaks in through the door you didn't know you left open. So here's my open door. Nice bright glowing light. Some shadows along the bottom sides to kind of show where that light is coming from and how if the light would be coming from here, the shadow would be hitting the bubble on this side, as well as some shadows underneath the orbs to show that they're either floating or sitting on the ground. My different objects that I included art. A very old-fashioned kind of schoolhouse to show my how teaching brings me happiness. Something simple like my mac and cheese, all right, or a cup of coffee makes me very happy. nature, being around nature, sunsets, reading, music. The heart represents family and friends and the people that I'm close to in my life. So again, just like different ways you could represent your idea, your quote. So this was my original, to go back, this was my original first draft. And then we could actually sneak back and look at my 3 thumbnail sketches. Hopefully they are somewhere in this book. Here we go. So these are my original 3 thumbnails. This is my original sketch for this project. So you can see kind of how that evolved into the final draft. I had done words in my first draft and decided that I wanted to do something more detailed with the pictures, and then I wanted color to play a big role. You can do whatever you want. If you have color, use it. If you don't, doesn't matter. But try to make this your best effort. Put in the most that you can. Like, I could go back, honestly, and clean up some of these lines that I went over with Sharpie, like right there. Maybe I want to add kind of, and this is just kind of an experiment. We'll see if it actually works. But if I wash out some of my white paint with a little bit of water and create something more of a wash, I can go back over some of my objects and kind of make them look a little more like they are behind the bubble color. That kind of makes it look like it's a little more in that transparent zone. It kind of helps it make it look like it's inside the bubble instead of sitting on top of the bubble. So little things that you want to do if you want to make stuff look a little bit more in a certain way. It's up to you. Decide what you want to do. If you have any questions, please reach out. But basically, this is the idea. Just try to kind of make it your own. Experiment, push yourself a little bit. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. Ooh, I actually kind of like this. I think I'm gonna finish this off. But see what you guys can come up with on your own. See how you can push yourself. Some things I might give you feedback on are like giving, adding a little bit more to the background, that kind of thing. Just see what you can do. See if you can push yourself. And if you have questions, let me know. All right. Hope to see some awesome work ahead.